Today, let's take a look at an app from Google known as Google Docs, which helps us write documents and share them to our friends and family or store them for future use. You can use it to write ebooks and CVs. So how do we access Google Docs? If you have a Gmail account, just go to google.com, then log into your Google account and click on this Google Apps icon, which is close to your Google profile picture. Click it, scroll down, and right here is Google Docs. You can actually arrange the icons if you want by dragging and dropping. If you want, I can put it there, so I can also move Google Drive there and YouTube there. If you double click it, it will open Google Docs for you. Alternatively, you can open a new tab and just write docs.google.com. It will open the app. Google Docs comes with templates to help you get started fast. The blank, the resume, the brochure. The letter template looks like that and is properly arranged. We shall go with a blank by clicking this. First things first, you will have to give a name to your document so that it is not untitled. You can see untitled here and you can see untitled up here. What you do is to come and give it a name. For example, Google Docs for absolute beginners. The name will appear here and it will appear here in the tab, in the browser tab. This is a brief paragraph about Uganda. You notice that there are some words which are underlined red. Whenever you see something that is underlined with the red, Google Docs means that it's a wrong spelling. The wrong spellings will depend on the language in your computer. So for mine, the language is English, United States, and the word lifetime is correctly written like that. You hover on the word and then you can select the right word, or you just correct the mistake. At least has a single E, so I'll do that. And I have an extension in my computer called Grammarly, which helps you fix grammar. So this is not a wrong spelling, but it's a wrong grammar, so it needs a comma here, and there are no reds. I'll correct the mistakes, and I'll do that. We can look at the headings. How do you put headings in your Google Doc? For example, about Uganda is an heading. We can highlight it and just come to styles, which is just here, and click tight. We can also highlight here and change the text to italic by clicking this. You can also use shortcuts, but for the scope of this tutorial, we shall not go into that. Let's take a look at adding colors to your text. So we can say, I'll have a heading here. If we do something like this, we sometimes need to give numbers so that we can show that this is a list of items. We can put bullets to them, but before we do that, let's look at the first thing, which is coloring. So we want to color this heading. First of all, we shall go to styles and make it an heading, and this time we shall make it heading 2. Then we shall go all the way to this A, which has a line below it, and it is described as text color. You click it and put the color you want. The next thing I want to do is to add bullets to this list, and you highlight them, go all the way to your bar and find the checklist the list, the bulleted list, the numbered list, and choose. So for now, we shall choose the bulleted lists and click. So they will put dots besides the words. But if you don't like them, you can change them by going back to the bullets and clicking the arrow which is facing down and choose the type of bullets you want. I'll leave those ones there. Let's see other bullets. I'll make this a heading. I'll go back to bullets, but this time choose numbered list. And you see they can have numbers, but if we want, we can still change them to numbers which have, you realize that these ones, it's a number and a dot, but then we can put a number and a right bracket, or a number and a dot but with more space, or 0 then a number. You can also put Roman numerals, you can also put alphabets. So for now, I'll go to this one, I'll settle with that one, then I will put a color and I'll put this color. The other thing that we can look at in Google Docs is alignment. Aligning text means to position the text on your paper or your document, to position it at the left or the center or the right or the justification. We shall align the first sentence to the left, the second to the right, and the third to the center. So let's see how we can do that. How we can do that is, by default, the sentences are aligned at the left, so we have nothing to do there. But to align this one to the right, we can highlight it or put a cursor in it. Like you can see my cursor it can be anywhere at the beginning of the sentence or the end or the middle of the sentence. Then you go back to your toolbar and there is this icon which is labeled align. Click it and you find the 4 alignment options. We shall choose the right align and that sentence will go to the right. We can actually put a space so that they can be visually clear, like that. And then we want to align the third one, the third sentence, to the center. We go back to the alignment options and click center. So you can see that these words are running all the way, and then the last part of them is in the center. This one does not appear to be in the center because it's long. It's long as the paper, but if it was short, for example, if I type capture like that, it will definitely appear to be in the center. So I'll correct these words here and waterfall. Yes, that's how you can align in Google Docs. Let's look at how we can highlight text in Google Docs. So I want to highlight the village or the town that I live in. So I will select this word here and I will point at this, which is just after the A, which is the text color, then the highlight color. The highlight color, let's see how it looks, and I'll give it a pink. Yeah, that's it. That's how the highlights work. I can highlight Uganda. So when you are highlighting, you can give different colors to your words in the same sentence. That's how you can highlight or put background to your text in Google Docs. The other thing you can do in Google Docs is inserting images, tables, so on and so forth. So if we wanted to put a table of things like, let's say, item, quantity and price, we could insert a table by clicking here on the main menu, Google Docs menu. You can click the insert, then you get options like the tables, and once you hover the tables, the options for rows and columns will be presented to you. So this time, let's start with a table of 3 columns and 2 rows and give it a color like that. Then we can press enter and come and then create our table. Then we can put here item quantity, yeah, quantity, and then cost, you know, something like that. So these items can be transport, transport like 4 trips, and maybe UGX 200,000. Now if you want a new row, you know, to enter another item, just press tab on your computer or right click this cell and click insert row. So we want a row below this row, and that's what will happen. We can say accommodation for nights, the total of 600,000. Then we can press a tab or, like I said, right click in the cell and get options, then choose insert below. Meals, 10 people. So if we want to add a 4th column, we can right click and look for insert column. You can insert column at the left of the column where the cursor is. So the cursor is here in cost, which is the last column right now. So I can insert column at its left, and that's how you can have a column here, and this makes it 4 columns. So if I want to add a column between item and quantity, I can click quantity here and right click, then insert a column at the left, or I can click an item and insert column at the right. So here I can put description, then here I can put unit cost. Then I can highlight here and bold this text by clicking here, you bold. I can also change the font of these items by coming here to font and choosing the font that I want. So for example, if I want Nuno, that's what will happen. And I can change the font size by entering a number here, or just clicking and getting options like 10, or I can just write 8 and enter. I can click the plus icon just besides the font to increase, or the minus to decrease, just like that. And I can highlight this with that. See, it is highlighted. I can also do a merge. You can merge some columns by highlighting them, then right click and select merge cells, so they will be merged, and there you go. You can do a lot with the tables, including removing of borders, so on and so forth. So for example, if I want this one, I can to put a cell color. I think I can come do this, and you see, so the entire cell is highlighted. So that's it. We shall look at tables in detail in the future videos. So then let's look at inserting images, images. So we can give this another heading, which is also heading 1, and we can give it a different color, like let me say, oh, this one is 2. Okay, let's use purple. So we can insert images by going here on the menu bar and selecting insert image, or we can come to insert image icon here, and you have options. You can insert image from your camera, from a URL, or from photos. You know, Google has an app called Photos, from Drive. You can search the web like I'll do, and I'll search mountain Rwenzori. And I will click there. Okay, So I'll choose this one and I'll click insert. So it will be inserted. And what can you do to photos? You can align them, you can change their size. For example, I can drag at the lower left like that to make it small proportionally, but you can also drag this one at the right, this point at the right, and make it large horizontally, or you can choose the one at the bottom, at the square at the bottom, and you make it tall like that. So for now I will do this, and that's it. You can also align photos. So let's insert another photo. We shall go back to here and insert from web, and this time we shall look for another mountain in Uganda, Mountain Elgon. Okay, Mountain Elgon. I'll choose this one, which has people at the top. So this one has also been inserted. You notice that Google Docs has automatically created a third page. It has created a third page because this image is too large. So like we said, you can make it smaller, okay, like dragging. Choose one of the squares and drag inside or out to get the whatever you want. If we wanted to put them side by side, you see if I drag, this just goes at the top, and if I come here and say wrap text, so I think I can now move it besides the other because it's in the wrap text alignment. You see that? So I can now drag it around the other image, and I can try to make it smaller for them to have a proportionate height like that. So the other thing that you can do with the images is that you can crop them by double clicking, and you see these rectangles around it, so you can drag one inside. If you drag from the right, you are cropping from the right. If you drag from the left, you are cropping from the left. And you can also do it from the bottom, or you can also do it proportionally from the lower left or lower left, or top left or top right, or lower left or lower right. So whatever you want, and afterwards click enter on your keyboard, then it will be cropped. You can right click and click crop image, then you drag. So this one I want to crop it from the top, then I also, yeah, just that, then I want to enter, and that's how you are going to crop images. After all of that, we can now say that we have learned something about Google Docs. Thank you for watching.